I've got 5 huge mistakes that I see people make time and time again when migrating their WordPress sites. Today, I'm going to help you avoid all 5 of those mistakes, run through what they are, and I'm even going to show you explicitly how to avoid a few of them. The most obvious initial mistake is just simply not having a backup. When you're doing a migration, there is a potential that something could go horribly wrong. You could end up losing everything. It could go really smoothly, but why take the risk? Make sure you have a backup of the original site. The easiest way to do that is like this. What we're going to do first is we're just going to come across here to our plugins section, and I'm just going to go to add new. Now from here, you've got 2 options. What we can do is we can come up to search plugins and we can search for Duplicator. This is going to give us the Duplicator option. Once it loads, there we go, where we can install now and activate, and we are going to be able to do our backup from here. This is a completely free plugin. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to head across to Duplicator itself, and I'm going to get myself one of the paid versions of Duplicator because of the extra features that it offers, some of which I'm going to show you in a little bit, like recovery points, schedule backups. These are really, really useful, and you can get them from just $49.50 for the whole year. It's really worth it for protecting your website. It's 50% off if you use the links down in the top pinned comment and in the description. So I'm going to get Duplicator Pro, and then I'm going to download the Duplicator Pro file and show you how to install that. We've got Duplicator Pro, so now I'm just going to come to upload plugin right here, and then you can drag the file here, or I'm just going to click on choose file. This is the one I'm looking for right here, my Duplicator Pro zip file. We don't need to do anything with it. Don't unzip it or anything like that. Just select it and open. That's going to drop it just here, and you can click on install now. Once that's installed, it's going to drop you through to a screen where you're going to just be able to click activate. That's going to activate the plugin, and we're going to be ready to go and create our backup. There we go. We can just activate plugin. That's going to drop us through to the Duplicator homepage just here, where we're going to be able to see all of our backups. We obviously haven't created one yet, so let's create a backup. Super easy to do. We're going to go to add new just here. And then you've got a few options. You can start to amend exactly what it is you're backing up, database only, media only, or completely custom. We're just going to go for a full site backup. That's completely fine. Because I do have Duplicator Pro, I've got some storage options. I can start to add things here, like maybe saving it to my Google Drive, for example. But again, for today, we're going to leave it as the default local. And then the installer itself down here. Nice and straightforward, and I'm just going to leave it as it is and go next. Now what you'll have noticed there, it will have done a scan, if you were quick enough to notice it, because it took a grand total of 0.029 seconds. That scan there, we're going to talk about in just a second. So for now, we're just going to create a backup like this. This is going to take a minute, maybe a minute and a half. It's going to depend on the size of your website, but I do find it to be very, very quick. You can see here where we are. We're just going to let it do its thing and then come back to it. Like I say, I would imagine about a minute. And there we have it, backup created. So that's my entire website backed up, and I can restore to that backup absolutely immediately. Really that straightforward. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come here. I'm going to download that backup. Now, I can either download the installer or the archive. The short answer to this is just download both files. This is going to give you a copy of your download that you can store on your computer. That I usually find is a good thing to have. So just hold on to a copy of a recent download. But things can still go very wrong, which again, we will get to in a second. Now that we have our backup, we also want to have a full-scale disaster recovery option. Essentially a plan should everything go completely and utterly wrong. Because then maybe you don't have access to your site, you don't have access to the back end of your site, and there's nothing you can do. Or is there? There is if you have planned ahead even this much. So this is how you're going to set a disaster recovery point to avoid any issues like this. So you remember our backup that we just made? Well, all we have to do to set disaster recovery, and this is the reason that I have Duplicator Pro, I'm going to select this logo just here. This backup is available for disaster recovery. I'm just going to click it. And again, just come down here and I'm going to set this as my disaster recovery point. And there we have it. It was quite simple. It's already done. So that's my disaster recovery backup. And what this can do is actually fantastic. So let's say that my website has completely gone down, and I'm talking about there's no access to absolutely anything. Provided, I'm just going to download this launcher right here, provided I have that launcher or this link, which is actually just a URL, I can restore my website. So, website's gone down. Absolutely nothing is working. So let's go and get the launcher and show you what it can do. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to this launcher file, going to double click on it, and it's going to launch my disaster recovery system immediately. I've got the overview of what it's going to do. I've got my validation. Have all the checks passed? Is this going to work? Yes, it is. So I'm going to read and accept the terms and notices and restore from my backup. Do I want to confirm that? I absolutely do. So I'm just going to click OK. This is going to extract all of the backup files and essentially create my website again, despite the fact that in this scenario, I have absolutely no access to the back end or the front end of my website. This could be from absolutely nothing, provided I have this or I have that URL that I can copy and store. My website is never lost. It can always go back to this disaster recovery point. In the time that I've told you that, go back to the screen, it's already nearly done. And that's it. It tells you exactly what has happened, and all you really need to do is you need to make sure that this box here is ticked and that you press admin login. This is going to take you through to the login page of your website where you will have to log in as an admin, and that will just finalize everything. So let's do that. And there we have it. We are logged in and it's telling me my site has successfully been restored. The installer cleanup has run. Everything is back to normal. So let's go and check on my website. Let's see if it looks correct. Absolutely does. Everything is there as I left it and everything is going to work. Click here as expected. It's really that simple. That was about 4 or 5 clicks of the mouse and I've gone from, oh my God, tearing my hair out, the irony, I know, to I have restored everything and there is nothing to worry about. Now we want to talk about not creating a staging site. A staging site is going to give you the opportunity to test and refine and tweak things behind the scenes before you go live with it. It's also a great way of ensuring that any issues you come across don't actually come across to anybody viewing your website. Okay, so this is my WordPress admin dashboard, and there's many ways that you can do this. It's going to depend a little bit on your hosting provider. Now, my hosting provider is Bluehost. You can see just up in the right corner here, they even have a little kind of tab that you can go to. So if I go to that Bluehost tab, this is what it looks like. They actually give me an option just down here for staging. So I can click here and I can immediately create a staging site. As I say, this is going to be different depending on your hosting provider. Some have one-click staging like this, some do not. If you do want to try Bluehost or migrate to Bluehost, then use the links down in the top pinned comment or description where you'll be able to check out Bluehost and, of course, use all the things I'm showing you right now to help you migrate your site. So you can see here my staging website was created successfully. Now what I can do is I can switch over to select that that's the one I'm currently editing by just clicking here, and there we go. You can navigate you to the staging environment, switch, and there we can see. So this is my website as is normal. I can change, amend, and adjust this now, but all under the staging environment. I've got the little tab up the top there. And then here on my dashboard, again, I've got the staging environment here. So I can start to test things and see if this is going to work. Next up, we want to talk about your staging site being indexed. And what that means is that search engines such as Google are crawling through your website and indexing your pages, which is a disaster for a staging site. It's going to end up with loads of duplicate content. It's going to mean that your search rankings start to drop. You've just created two of the same thing and asked them to compete against each other for search engine authority. It's a disaster. So all you have to do is you need to go ahead and discourage search engines from indexing your website. Okay, so I'm on my WordPress admin dashboard. This is super easy. We're just going to come to settings, and then from the settings, we're going to go to reading just here. Open that up, and you can see just here, search engine visibility. What we want to do is we want to discourage search engines from indexing this site. Now, this obviously applies to your staging site only. You want to select that, and you want to click on Save Changes. It's really that simple. And in turn, actually, if you have this ticked on your regular site, definitely untick that. You do not want to discourage search engines from indexing your actual non-staging site. And finally, we want to check for compatibility. We want to make sure that our PHP versions are compatible. We also want to make sure that we've got plugins that are compatible. We want to make sure that our theme is compatible all to our migrated site. And that, again, sounds like an awful lot of time, an awful lot of effort, an awful lot of things that could potentially go wrong. Thankfully, we got a solution for that one too, that I reckon takes about 5 seconds. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm on my WordPress admin dashboard, and let's treat this as if we're doing a migration. I'm going to go down to Duplicator Pro here. So we've installed Duplicator, and then I'm going to go to Import Backups. So we've got Duplicator. We have our backup that we saved earlier. Drag and drop the backup file there. Not a problem at all. Let's go and grab that. Here we go. I'm going to pull that from my downloads file or wherever you've got it saved, and I'm just going to drop it here. So this is using the backup that we spoke about in step 1, and we're just migrating it using Duplicator exactly as we've done before. So we're just going to drop it there, and you can see we've got a status down here. This is going to take around 10 minutes to just get done with my particular website. So we'll be back in just a second. There we go. Now that's done, we can just hit the continue button just here. And it's going to come over. Do we want to set disaster recovery? We've actually already got it set from earlier, so that's great. And then we can go ahead and we can just launch the installer. Now, of course, you've got the recovery URL, which again, we all looked at this earlier, so we don't need to worry about it. We're just going to launch the installer here. And here we go. Here is your check. This here is checking, making sure that everything is compatible. I haven't really had to do anything at all. Now, in an ideal world, you want all of this to just say pass. I have a couple of notices. We can open them up, and it will essentially tell you what the potential issue is. Now, I'm doing multiple things all at the same time, so this selected database action affects 2 WordPress installations. I knew that already. So that you can check these out, make sure that you are happy with them, but realistically, if it's just a notice, it does mean that it's fine. There's no issues. Everything is going to work. So I can click here to read and accept the terms and notices and go next. That is it. That's quite literally all you have to do when you've got Duplicator Pro to make sure that you are compatible. This is now going to work. Now, we were doing backups just there, and you can save yourself an awful lot of time by having your backups happen automatically. If you want to know how to do that, I'm going to leave a video on screen right now.